Well, that wraps it up for Victoria as a companion. Welcome to the Time Treadmill. I'm Ron, and these are my sweaty thoughts about Doctor Who. Deborah Watling made it clear from the moment she was hired that she was only interested in playing Victoria for 1 year on the program. After that, she wanted to leave and go back to working in live theater. And so, as the writing and production started for Fury from the Deep, a key component for the story was always Victoria's departure from the show. The nice thing about that is that Victoria got several moments throughout the story in which she got to set up her growing dissatisfaction with traveling with the Doctor and her struggle, because she truly loves the Doctor and Jamie and would miss them terribly if she didn't carry on with them. But she had grown increasingly weary of being in constant danger. And I get it. I mean, all of that screaming can wear you down after a while. And speaking of screaming, one of the key reasons that Deborah Watling was cast in the first place was because she was particularly talented at screaming on cue. And all forward-thinking progressive politics aside, screaming is a very important skill for pretty much every female companion in Doctor Who history. That being the case, it's doubly ironic that because Victoria was leaving the story and because of her extreme talent at screaming, the writer actually built into the climax of the story that the solution to the problem was the particular frequency of Deborah Watling's scream. Every time Victoria screams, the sentient seaweed recoils in terror. Humans possessed by the seaweed run away in terror every time she opens her mouth and lets out a yell. And so, by the final episode, the Doctor tumbles to this fact and decides to use Victoria's scream as a weapon and builds a special device to pipe that scream into the pipe light itself to resonate throughout the entire sequence of refineries, and also constructs a couple of handheld sonic weapons to be used against the seaweed on the base itself, all powered by the ferocity of Victoria's scream. Which was all well and good until the day came to film that sequence, and it turned out that Deborah Watling had a growing case of laryngitis. She simply could not scream. She could deliver her lines and get through the working day, but she just did not have the voice to produce the scream that was necessary. And so, one of the production assistants was pulled to provide her own scream for the final sound effects, thus making it so that Victoria's big final hurrah was actually dubbed by another actress, and Deborah Watling didn't get her big, powerful moment. On the other hand, she really was given one of the best farewells of a series companion in the show's history, certainly up until that point. Usually it's been brief sequences, like with Barbara and Steven or with Ben and Polly, where there's a very brief pro forma goodbye and they run off back to their old lives and everything is reset. In this case, the actual story resolves a full 6 minutes before the runtime of the final episode expires, and that last half dozen minutes are spent with Victoria struggling with the decision of whether to carry on with the Doctor and Jamie or to stay behind with a new adoptive family. And the scenes between her and Jamie and her and the Doctor are especially touching and very well done. I'm very pleased that Deborah Watling got such a nice goodbye. I really would have loved to have met her in person. Tragically, she passed away about 3 years ago, and I'll never have that chance. But as classic companions go, although she's not one of the most frequently remembered, she certainly left her mark during her year on the program, and I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of her presence on the show. So that wraps it up for Fury from the Deep. Tomorrow brings the return of the Cybermen and the addition of a brand new companion, so be sure to come back and check that out. And until then, as I always say, stay home, stay safe, be kind, be patient, and I will see you tomorrow.